Okay, you guys. Today I'm going to talk to you about your poem this week. So we kind of started with I think I've given you a lot of poems. Yesterday I did this poem for the first time, and this is the poem we're going to stick with all week because I'm going to show you how to use poems to get information from them. Because poems, although they are entertaining and they're fun to say, also, some poems can be used as informational to give us information about a topic, okay? So I'm going to show you how to do that today. So I have the poem up here. We're going to read it. We're going to find our rhyming words, and then we're going to answer some questions together, and I'm going to show you how to get the information from the poem. So this is I don't know if you'll be able to see that, probably not. I'm going to do dark green. This is what I'm going to use to find my answers, and I'm going to use red for my rhyming words. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to read you the poem. Now, it's the same poem from yesterday, so if you remember the poem that we did yesterday, you can go ahead and try to read along with me. If not, that's okay. Just listen, okay? So our poem's called Owl. Here we go. Who hoots and screeches in the dead of night? Whose big talons could give you such a fright? Is that a horned owl that I see, swooping in front of the moon flying free? Okay, so remember, poems have rhyming words. Rhyming words are words that sound the same at the end of the word. So I am going to use my red rhyming word finder pen. And I'm going to underline all of the rhyming words. Now, you guys did this yesterday for the poem, so you should already know which words in this poem rhyme. But I'm going to go ahead and do it again just in case some of you were confused or didn't get it. So, owl, who hoots and screeches in the dead of night. Alrighty, I don't hear any rhyming words there, so I'm going to move on to the next section of the poem. Whose big talons could give you such a fright? Did you hear that? Night, fright. Notice how both of these words are at the end of each of the sentences. Okay, we have the word night, and it rhymes with fright. And nope, I'm not going to do that right now. Okay, so night and fright, they both rhyme. Is that a horned owl that I see, swooping in front of the moon, flying free? Did you hear the rhyming words? See and free. Notice how the four rhyming words, or the two sets of rhyming words, all of the words came at the end of the sentence, which means the rhyming words, we can use the rhyming words to find our rhythm in the poem. Who hoots and screeches in the dead of night, whose big talons could give you such a fright? Is that a horned owl that I see, swooping in front of the moon flying free? See the rhythm? Goes right along with the rhyming words. Okay, first part of the mission is done. Now we're going to talk about how we can pull information out of this poem, because this is an informational poem. So I am going to I'm going to stand up. Okay, because I'm going to be moving back and forth here because I have the questions written here. So our first question is, what would give you such a fright? So they want to know what in this poem is giving us a fright. What would give us a fright? So I'm going to look through my poem, and I'm going to find the word fright. F-R-I-G-H-T. Let's find it here. It's right here. F-R-I-G-H-T. And so I'm going to read this section of the poem that has the word fright in it in order to find my answer. Whose big talons could give you such a fright? Did you hear that answer? Whose big talons could give you such a fright? What in the poem is giving us a fright? Big talons. I'm going to circle, I'm going to circle it. Did you see how I found that answer in my poem? Big talent. So I'm going to write the answer right here on the board. Big talons. Okay, because that's what gives us a fright in the poem. Let's look at the second question. What kind of owl is it? This is going to be a hard one. What kind of owl is it? Well, I'm going to look for a clue word. I'm going to look for the clue word owl, O-W-L. So I know owl is the title, but where else do we see the word owl in our poem? I'm looking with my eyes. Found it right here, O-W-L. Let's read this section and see if we can find the answer. What kind of owl is it? Is that a horned owl that I see? Do you think we just found our answer? Is that a horned owl? That is the answer. So I'm going to circle it. Did you see how I searched for the keywords? I used the keyword from the question. I used a keyword owl from the question and I tried to find it in the poem to find the answer. So the answer to number 2, what kind of owl is it? A horned owl. A horned owl. Okay, let's move on. Let's find question 3. What noises do owls make? This one is hard. That one is hard. Let's look for some keywords. Noises. Noises might be a keyword. Let's see if we have that word in our poem. I don't see the word noises. So now we kind of have to infer. We have to use what we know about noises. Remember, noises are loud things we can hear with our ears, okay? A noise is something we can hear with our ears. What words in this poem describe something that we can hear with our ears? And in order to find it, let's read the poem all over. So let's start at the beginning. Who hoots and screeches in the dead of night? I'm stuck here on these words, hoots and screeches, because the word screech to me is a noise. It's like a screech. That's a loud noise. What about the word hoots? Hoo-hoo. Is that a noise? Who hoots and screeches. Guess what? We didn't even have to read on because our answer is right here in the first sentence. What kind of noises do owls make? They hoot and screech. They hoot and screech. Okay, so good job. Thanks for helping me, boys and girls. So we read our poem, we found the rhyming words, and then we used our poem to find answers to the questions. So I'm proud of you. In Seesaw, you're going to listen to the poem again, and then you're going to answer these questions on your own. But hopefully it won't be too hard since we just did it all together. All right, bye guys.